Good morning, everyone. Oh, I'm just waiting for my screen to work, and it looks like it is. So it's Tuesday chat time again. Wow. I wasn't here last week, of course. I was volunteering packing wood in I don't know if you have animals, in those 20-kilo feed bags. So, because it's this farming community here, we all once a year help raise money for the Brewina State School. We've got a little tiny school here, at the Gympie Music Muster. And so I spent last Tuesday and Monday bent over lifting big chunks of wood and putting them into 20-kilo feed bags. So that's why I wasn't here last week. Hi, Di. Let me know that you can hear me okay. So that would be great. But hopefully for the next however many Tuesdays, I will be here. So I try not to book things in on Tuesday or Wednesdays, but sometimes can't be helped. So, all right. So today I wanted to have a chat about your creative bank account. So it was something I stumbled across recently, and I thought it was a great idea and a great way of thinking about it. So I'm just making sure. Hold on, just let me check this is all right. Yep. Okay, cool. All right, I'm guessing everyone can hear me, no problem. So, all right. So in my online art membership, the Creative Barn, this month has been all about working from life. So getting out in your own backyard and looking around and finding things that inspire you. Because you know you're not going to come up with ideas just sitting on your bum at home in front of the TV or that. So you need to sort of get out and about. I also shared an image with my members of Julie Freeman's latest artwork. It's a really good example of what I was trying to sort of get through. That if you haven't look at Julie Freeman. She's a brilliant pastel artist. But it was creating an absolutely beautiful image or painting from simple things, probably found in her own backyard. So it's this gorgeous orange segments and leaves, and just such a simple subject, but her composition. Sorry, my throat's croaky. Her composition of how she's placed things and her color palette, using complementary colors. She's got this gorgeous purple background on this bright orange. So just stunning, and just something quite simple, and that's where I was sort of trying to get through to everyone about just, getting outside and having a look around just in your own backyard and see what you can find that inspires you. But then I sort of came across this YouTube video by Jake Parker about building your creative bank account, and I thought this actually really resonated as well with the whole theme of working from life, like work, just getting outside and that. So the whole idea with it is, when you sorry, I'm just got my notes a bit all over the place here at the moment. When you go to sit down, like you feel like you want to create something. As an artist, you sort of get these feelings that you must create. It's kind of this little nagging thing in the back of your head saying you've got to do something. So you'll get all your supplies ready, or your pastels out, or your oil paints out, and then you sit down and you got nothing. You're just looking at the blank canvas. A lot of people say that's the fear of the blank canvas, but you've got nothing to go with. And Jake sort of talks about how this happens because your creative bank is empty. Okay, so your creative, first of all, Jake is a visual storyteller from America. I have stumbled across him many years ago. He runs the School of Visual Storytelling with Will Terry. If ever you get a chance, they run a podcast as well. They create, like, he's an illustrator, so they do a lot of like storybooks, comics, all that sort of stuff. He also is the founder of Inktober, if you've heard of that. Every October, they do prompts every day. And it's not just about ink drawing, it can be any drawing at all, but it's like a whole big thing everyone shares on Instagram. But and their visual storytelling is amazing. So much to learn there if you are interested in it. It goes across every type of art form, not just storybooks or comic books, because it is a lot about composition and creating a story in your work. So it's great to sort of draw from other artists like that may not be doing exactly what you're doing, but their ideas will resonate. And yeah, so I was watching this video from Jake about building your creative bank, and I thought, yeah, it's a great idea. So your creative bank is inside your head, so it's like a normal bank account. You can you've got to sort of put, instead of money in, it's ideas. So you've got to put ideas in to be able to draw ideas out. Okay, so if you're sitting around and you've got like nothing, then you haven't filled your bank account enough to be able to draw out ideas, which I thought was really great. And your everyone's ideas and inspiration come from what's around them. So your creative bank in your head is going to be a lot different to someone else's bank in their head. So yeah, so it was a great way of putting it, I think. So and how you deposit into your creative bank account, of course, is surrounding yourself with friends, family, people that inspire you, and just different experiences. Read books, go to galleries, consume things you like. Just get out in the world, look around and experience things. Just, yeah, all of that sort of stuff. So I've got a list here of a heap of different things of ideas that I'll go through a bit later. But you're not going to fill your bank, I suppose, by just sitting in the same place all the time. You've got to go and experience new things. So Picasso was a great example of this. So he's like a sponge, and he had the ability to sift through his memories and experiences, which all of that went into his work, and that's why he was able to create the most, whether you like Picasso or not, but amazing work of different ideas. Like, just sort of blew the world with his ideas, because it's stuff no one had ever really seen before. And one of his very famous quotes is, "Good artists copy and great artists steal." So just like a lot of my members have probably seen or heard me talk about the book Steal Like an Artist by Austin Kleon, I think it is. And the whole idea with that as well is the same as Picasso. By you're stealing, but you're not stealing other people's work. You're stealing ideas and inspiration from all of those around you, that then all goes into that creative bank up here, and helps to fill that. That way you can then create something unique to you. So everything you put in there you're going to look at it differently to someone different. Like, if you all had the same inspiration, you would all create something different, because everyone takes bits and pieces differently than someone else. So that's the beauty of being human and being unique and individual. So I also don't think you need to live in a big city. to fill your creative bank by any means. I live nowhere near a big city, and I think I could easily wander around this farm and fill a lot of my creative bank. But you do need to experience new things. So you know, just by looking in your own backyard is great, and you can get lots of inspiration, but it's more about getting out there and trying new things, and like I said, going to galleries and all that sort of stuff. So you know, and you need to sort of consciously look at your surroundings, because we can all go through life and just wander around and not see anything. But as an artist, and as you grow as an artist, you start to see like an artist. So you'll start to notice little things that you know, others don't really see, like certain colours, the way things are moving, the way shadows are creating patterns, all that sort of stuff. So you will, and all of that again goes into this creative bank. So there's sort of two different types of experience, I suppose, as well. There's direct experiences and indirect experiences, and this is all what like Jake talks about a bit. Direct experiences, they both go into filling that bank up, but direct experiences are things like when you travel and go to new places, visit a gallery, go somewhere and experience something new yourself. Okay, so that's a direct experience. And an indirect experience is when we watch movies or YouTube videos, we go on Pinterest, we look at others' artwork, and we're gathering all different experiences and inspiration from that, but they're through someone else's eyes, so that's an indirect experience. But again, it all plays to fill that creative bank. And they also, all of that will help to build on your own ideas. So an example is we've been doing a lot of creative play in the membership every week, and I've been encouraging everyone to print out different other artists' images, things that the way someone might do a brush stroke or some colors you love, like gather all of that. A Pinterest board is a great way to do that, and you'll start to see, especially in a Pinterest board, when you go back through and look, you'll start to see certain colors that you are drawn to, certain styles, and then you can take ideas from that in your creative play. And you know, so you're not coming in totally blank with no ideas. That's the whole thing. You need something to start with. It's very rare for someone, I don't think anyone could just sit down and start drawing without having an idea. You know, that's why sketchbooks, doing thumbnails, all of that. Any great artist probably has a million sketchbooks that they take with them, wandering around, putting ideas to paper that you can come back and draw on later on. So I'll just say good morning to Di, Leonie, Donna, Kate, and Odette. Hi, guys. Like, and nothing, I really love the direct experiences. Like when I went to Fraser, I'm working on a collection for over there. So I could probably Google images of Fraser Island, images of dingoes, the wreck that's over there. Is it the Mahino? I think it's the Mahino over on Fraser. Anyway, whatever the wreck is, the Central Station, there's so much on Fraser Island. I could Google and look, but it's nothing's like being in that experience yourself. So just the sounds, the smells, all of that sort of stuff, it all comes in to help inspire you and fill that creative bank up with all these ideas. I came away from Fraser Island with, I wanted to go to create one series, and I'm probably overwhelmed now because I have so many ideas, and I need to really do some mind mapping and work out what, you know, put some in the background and worry about them later and really focus on one, which I think that's half my problem why I haven't done too much about it, because I've got too many things to think about with it. So I really need to whittle that down. But if I'd just been looking at images online, I wouldn't have come up with all those different ideas. So direct experience is really important. And it's like, you know, if you've been, I'm just saying, Dad's just been overseas. If you've been overseas and on an amazing holiday, like I know when we went all through Europe and Italy especially, you know, you come back, you're so excited, you want to show everyone your photos and just really sort of try and get through them how much fun you had and the experience you had, and they look at your photos, and of course no one wants to probably see your 1,000 photos, and they're just not getting it because they're not in the place. They're not that got the sounds and smells and all of that around them. They're just looking at photos, which never does any justice to anything. So that's where I'm saying, like, you need to sort of travel. Doesn't have to be overseas, just travel, go to the other side of your town. Like, if you haven't seen, you know, myself, I go up to Harvey Bay quite a bit, but I only go to certain spots. I've, you know, because I'm always up there for something, but I should go there and just, they have a beautiful botanic gardens, and you know, just go for a wander, go to just, yeah, a different part of your local town that you haven't normally been to, that sort of thing. Like, get out there, like, just, yeah, experience everything new. And I'm just looking at my notes here, but I know, especially as a wildlife artist too, photos don't really do too much justice to animals. I do know an artist that he'll only draw what he's seen, but not all, like, we can't all go on safaris in Africa and all the rest, but you can draw animals that are in your local area. You could focus on native birds to you. Like for me, I could do farm animals. You know, there's hundreds and thousands of different paintings that could come just from that one idea. Your local zoos, all of that sort of stuff. So, but it is good because to see the way an animal moves and actually see them in person really makes a big difference. So as a wildlife artist, it's very important to get out and see them. I promise I will show, I'll not show 5,000 photos. I did. I know, that's why I was laughing when I was about to say that, because I thought you've probably got 1,000 photos you want to share. We love to see your photos though, Dad. It was amazing while you were travelling to see everything. We do love them. Maybe not 5,000. All right, so another person who touches on this idea of a creative bank is Julia Cameron in her book, The Artist's Way. So she encourages you to set up an artist date every single week with yourself. So, so that's to treat yourself as an artist in a fun and engaging way that will spark your inspiration. So, and she really stresses the only ones on the date is you and maybe your sketchbook. So you don't want to go on an artist date with friends or family or your partner. It is solely just for you, and it's also not to go on a, like, join a sketch club or go, you know, we have sketch groups around town. She discourages that, not to be around other people. It's just to be just you alone, so that you can sort of really work on your own creative ideas. So that's a great one if you've got time. I know it's something I should probably try and do more of. I seem to, because I teach, like, and I'm sort of in and out of town and visiting kids and back to Brisbane and all the rest of it. when I am at home, I'm like, I'm not going anywhere because I've got like 3 or 4 days at home and I don't want to do anything other than just sit in my studio and maybe draw and work on my membership. But I should probably, there's no artist date there other than sitting and drawing and all that, but I'm not actually going and getting a direct experience. Like I said, I should actually make a point of not telling anyone where I'm going and just go, like, say, to the Botanic Gardens, or, you know, we have this beautiful walks in Biggenden. There's a big mountain there, Mount Walsh, there's rock pools, all of that stuff. So, you know, just I probably should go and do something like that, visit one of the little towns around here that I've never been to, just once a week, even if it's only a couple of hours. I know it's hard trying to fit all of this into our life, but, you know, it is, even if you did once a month maybe. But yeah, definitely set up a date for yourself, an artist date. So let me know if you're already doing that, actually, because I know some of you have probably already read The Artist's Way. It's a big book. That she covers morning pages and this artist date in it, and it's kind of set up like I think it's an 8-week course sort of thing. But yeah, I think it would be I haven't gone through it myself, but I like taking bits and pieces from it. So yes, it has some really great ideas in there to get more creative. So all right, and I found some ideas on the internet. I just searched Artist Way, artist date ideas. So I've got some here. There was I printed 101. I'm not going to read them all, but I've got a few here. So number one, of course, is visit an artist supply shop. So we all love that. I encourage everyone every month to go and visit the art shop because it's just something artists love to do. Whether you buy something or not, I suppose, irrelevant, but just surrounding yourself in all of the art products. And everyone in an art shop, they talk art, so it's really good for that. Another one was go for a walk and take your camera and document the experience. So that's intentionally going for a walk. So I know some people walk every day, but it's not that sort of walk. It is an intentional walk with your camera, looking for things that are inspiring you, or, like I said before, even just the way the shadow may be on a tree, or something, like the way some leaves have fallen on the ground or something. You'll find things to inspire you. Definitely, if you're a landscape artist, of course, you'll be looking at the overall landscape, but I usually find more detailed things inspire me. Grab a stack of magazines and clip out whatever looks interesting or cool and create your own inspiration board. Support your local art scene. So go to like a local festival, music event, art show, a play. We have a theatre here in town. They always run the most fun-looking events in there, and I've been there once or twice, but even that, just intentionally look for something, maybe once every couple of months at a theatre. You know, theatre's always a lot more fun, isn't it, than going to see a movie, I reckon. You're supporting your local art scene in that regard, because if people don't go to these things, they then stop bringing them to your town, don't they? So it's definitely important to support, and that's the same with your local art shop. If you're lucky enough to have one, then you definitely need to be supporting them. Online we can get things so cheap now, so I don't want you to just support a local art shop and send yourself broke, but we still need to support them in as many ways as we can. So go to a thrift store, thrift shop. This idea is probably American. I don't think we call them thrift stores here. I can't even say the word. The op shop. So go to an op shop. Give yourself $5 to spend and find something really great that you can do something creative with. So I thought that was a fun one. Write a letter longhand on pretty paper and send it to an old friend. So, gee, we used to do that all the time. You know, everyone had pen pals, and not many people write longhand now, do they? And I remember having, like, you could buy the most beautiful papers and they'd be scented, and you write your letters to your family and friends, and off you go. I wrote a letter to my granddaughter, actually, about a month ago, because she was, you know, they had their new house, new mailbox, and I thought she'd love to actually get a letter addressed to her in the mailbox. Kids love checking the mail, and yeah, so I sent her a card and just a little note, and she absolutely loved it. She was in shock. My daughter filmed her opening the mailbox, and she was stunned with, she's 4, and she's like, how did they know where I live? Like, she was just really shocked. But it was so much fun. So I'll have to do that again because she really loved it. So that's a good one. Even, yeah, if you've got grandkids and that, actually write them a letter. This was another fun one, I thought. Visit all your childhood playhouse and fort sites. So I know I grew up just north of Brisbane, and we were lucky. It was pretty sort of rural at the time. It's Albany Creek, and it's certainly not rural now, but it was when I grew up there. So there was, you know, spent many hours in the creek and wagging school in the pipes and all that sort of stuff. So there's lots of places around there that I could go and visit, and it would bring back some pretty fun memories. Sit on a porch swing, lean your head back as far as you can and look up at the tree branches backwards. So I know when I just stand and look up at trees and the branches, the shapes and patterns they make are so inspiring. Like, I quite often, when we tend to take photos, we sort of don't really look at different angles, but definitely if you're under some great trees, just look up and take a few photos up, and you'll see there's some really beautiful shapes and angles and the negative spaces and all of that. The same goes for maybe getting down really low and looking at things lower rather than straight ahead all the time or at eye level. Wine and dine yourself. Go to dinner and a movie by yourself. That's a good one too. Choose a art mentor. Take time to read their books, watch their videos, learn about their life as an artist to inspire you. So if you can't think of any in mind, just maybe start to Google and research artists in a field that you're interested in, that inspires you, whether that's, and you could even do, like, niche it down to just women artists or Australian women artists, or, you know, English, or, you know, artists from, you know, a certain time period. Or it's just, you know, Google's our best friend, isn't it? We can find so much on there. But then once you do hit on an artist you think you really love their work, actually go through. There's a lot of artists that have different videos, documentaries, all of that about them. They'll quite often share their process, things like that. So, and it can be one of the old masters, anything that inspires you. So that's a really good one. Go cloud watching. That's a bit like looking up at the trees. So I don't know about you guys, but I spent many an hour as a kid just laying on the lawn, looking at the clouds, trying to see shapes in them. And, you know, oh, there's an elephant, or there's a giraffe, or there's a rabbit, and all of that. It was a great way to kill an hour or two. I used to lay on the trampoline actually and do it all the time. Create a self-portrait. There's a good one. I've seen a lot of people, you know how we all have our little avatars, they call them, you know, Facebook, it's all the social media ones. I've just got all my members to give me a photo to go in a planner we're creating for next year. So a 2024 diary sort of planner. that we're going to have all that artwork in, and I got everyone to do a little headshot. But I've seen some artists, they have their a self-portrait as their headshot, and I thought that's pretty cool as well. And you could do it in any style you wanted. It could be like an abstract or realist. So that's a fun one as well. Write a poem. I'm no good at the English language, so I don't think I'd be writing a poem. I used to hate poetry in school, but I do start, and now I'm getting older, I do start appreciating some poems. But that's one, if you're into writing, that would be a good one. Plan a road trip. That's all me. I love planning road trips. I'm the planner of the family when we do go anywhere. So that's a fun one as well. And that you could even do a day road trip. So to go and see some local sites, to, like I was saying before, go somewhere new in your local area. So you could sit down, plan it, and research again what interesting places are around you that you could go and check out. Go to the library and find a book on a topic that you know very little about, but that looks very fascinating to you. So libraries, of course, are a great source of inspiration as well. So much to look at in there. Even just going and browsing in a library, there's just, so many different things that you could get inspiration from. I like this one, but I don't know that I could do it, is have a technology-free day. Although when we did go to Fraser Island, that's another idea. Go somewhere that there's no reception. So it forces you to have a technology-free day if there's no reception. You can't take your phone or waste time on Facebook or anything. Go to your local market, of course, that's a good one. Create a vision board. They're always like, you could create a vision board any time of year, but I always tend to do that sort of thing at the start of the year of what my next year, goals I want to achieve, things like that. Make a bucket list. That's a good one. I don't have a bucket list, but I reckon mine would be a mile long if I did. Go to a free museum. Museums are brilliant. Create a Pinterest account, like I said earlier, and just gather different things off Pinterest, like colors and other artists' inspiration. Just anything. You can get lost in Pinterest. There's so much there, and you just start pinning anything that just grabs your eye, no matter what it is. Just pin it, and then you'll start to see it as a whole, and you'll see your style starting to come through of things you like. People watch. So go to a market and just sit and watch people. It's pretty fascinating, actually. Watch a documentary of your favorite artists. Do some finger painting. We essentially, as pastel artists, we pretty much finger paint all the time. And play tourist in your town. So visit your local tourism office and have a look around, see what we do. Our local one here, because it's a heritage city, they do walking tours, and you just hire the little headphone, and it's just a pre-recorded, and it tells you turn left and then stop, and it tells you all about the different buildings and monuments in town. So that would be a pretty good one for me to do, actually, or for anyone who does live in a town that has those walking tours. They're so big, fascinating, and again, the ideas you would get, especially if you're into sort of historical stuff for me here, but I'm sure all different towns, and I know here in Australia when you're driving, you always see take this road for the tourist route, whatever you call it. And you'll find different things there. There's also art trails as well, I suppose. We don't have, I live too far out. I'd love to be part of an art trail, but I'm too far out for that. But I know a lot of, especially around the Sunshine Coast, probably Gold Coast, all of that. like, you know how you do winery tours, winery trails? There are art ones in certain places where there's lots of artists living, so that would be amazing. Um, Maybe that's something I should organise. We should hire a bus and go on an art trail. That would be great. Archie 100, a century, the Archibald Prize, now open. Home of the Arts, going this week. Okay, is that down the Gold Coast or is that in Brisbane? That would be amazing, actually. For those that aren't familiar, the Archibald Prize is Australia's probably leading portraiture prize, or is. Um, so it's on every year, I think. Or it's every second year, I'm not sure. But yeah, you know, Australia's best artist enter it. I think it's only Australian. And I've got my girlfriend, actually, her mum's been in it a couple of times and has also won the Packers Prize, which the Packers Prize is the guys that are packing, unwrapping the artwork. So all the people working behind the scenes, they vote on a prize. And usually the Packers Prize is the prize that the general public all agree that is the best painting, but it never wins the Archibald. The Archibald is always, they're always amazing, but you're always like, they're a bit out there sometimes. So I usually love to see the Packers Prize, but yeah, my girlfriend's mum has won that 1 year. It's pretty, she's very, very talented oil painter. So, okay, down the Gold Coast. The winners from the last 100 years, that would be so cool. Yeah, that's something to think about. I'm actually down the Gold Coast in 2 weeks, but it's for a hens weekend, so I don't think I'm going to have time. Unfortunately, I don't get down there. It'd be good if they toured up here, the Sunshine Coast or somewhere up this way. But yeah, definitely, if you live down that way, that would be well worth going. And think of all that creative creative inspiration you're going to bank in your head by just seeing that. So yeah, it's pretty amazing. There's so much to do and see when you actually start looking, and so many ways to fill that creative bank. So like I said right at the start, if your creative bank in your head is empty, it's going to be harder for you to draw on it to come up with ideas and inspiration for your paintings. So you need to make sure you are filling it with all these creative ideas. So there's, like I said, just look up, there's so many different ideas online to do that. So if you're stuck for ideas and I haven't given you any that are inspiring you, then yeah, just again do a Google search and look for creative bank ideas or artist date ideas, because the Julia Cameron Artist Way book is like well known, of course, so that's a good one. Or yeah, if you get a chance, check out Jake Parker and the Visual Storytelling School of Visual Storytelling on YouTube, and yeah, it's really interesting. There's just so many things. So and then when your creative bank is full, then of course drawing will, and coming up with those ideas will start to become easier. And you'll have things that you want to say and express in your own way. Okay, so you take all these ideas in, and then you're spitting out in a painting what you've gathered from it and how you want to tell the story. Because all good paintings, of course, usually have a story. So in my membership, the Creative Barn, I teach realistic wildlife and nature art in pastel, charcoal and graphite. But so it's great to follow along the tutorials and really learn the techniques. And as you grow and get more confident, that's when you need this creative bank, and that's when you can start, because you've got all that backing of the technique, so you're way more confident. So then you can start coming up with your own compositions and ideas, and you know you can do it. you can draw it because you've been practicing for the last year or so, getting better and better. So it's just a natural progression of artists. And yeah, and this I just thought was such a brilliant way of looking at how to really nourish and grow yourself and your own ideas. So that is that's my Tuesday chat for today, guys. So it's great to see everyone on here. And if you missed the start, I don't know whether I got into it a bit early, but you could go back and watch the replay if you missed the very start. And yeah, hopefully that's encouraged some ideas and some things to think about. And yeah, go and look at what is local, like Odette's got the Archie 100. Maybe spend the next 5-10 minutes and look in your area and see if there's something coming up that is going to be really beneficial and interesting for you to do by yourself as your own artist date. Okay, because honestly I wouldn't drag my husband along to anything. To me it's exciting, to him it would be dragging him along, and you know, that's no fun. It's like when you go clothes shopping, you don't want your husband you don't want your husband with you clothes shopping. So yeah, all right, well thanks guys, and I will talk to you all soon. And for my members that are on, hopefully I'll see some of you tomorrow for Creative Play in the morning. And otherwise have a great day, and I will see you all soon, or see you next Tuesday. I shouldn't say that, that's rude. Thanks Donna and Odette. I'll talk to you all later. Bye.